Hey, my vibrations, it's V to the I to the B to the mother of 5E. And here I am with more of Chapter 3, The Power of Intention by Dr. Wayne Dyer. Let's see if we can get this chapter done tonight. We are kindness toward all of life. In the ancient teachings of Panajali, we are reminded that all living creatures are impacted dramatically by those who remain steadfast in the absence of thoughts of harm directed outward. Practice kindness toward all animals, tiny and huge. The entire kingdom of life on earth, such as the forest, the desert, the beaches, and all that has the essence of life pulsating within it. You can't reconnect to your source and know the power of intention in your life without the assistance of the environment. You're connected to this environment. Without gravity, you can't walk. Without water, you can't live a day. Without the force, the sky, the atmosphere, the vegetation, the minerals, all of it, your desire to manifest and reach intention is meaningless. Extend thoughts of kindness everywhere. Practice kindness toward earth by picking up a piece of litter that's on your path or saying a silent prayer of gratitude for the existence of rain, the color of flowers, or even the paper you hold in your hand that was donated by a tree. The universe responds in kind to what you elect to radiate outward. If you say with kindness in your voice and in your heart, how may I serve you? The universe's response will be, how may I serve you as well? It's attractor energy. It's the spirit of cooperation with all of life that emerges from the essence of intention. And this spirit of kindness is one that you must learn to match if connecting back to intention is your desire. My daughter Summer has written from her experience about how small acts of kindness go a long way. I was getting off the turnpike one rainy afternoon and pulled up to the toll booth while fumbling through my purse. The woman smiled at me and said, "The car before you has paid your toll." I told her I was traveling alone and extended my money. She replied, "Yes." The man instructed me to tell the next person who came to my booth to have a brighter day. That small act of kindness did give me a brighter day. I felt so moved by someone I would never know. I began to wonder how I could brighten someone else's day. I called my best friend and told her about my paid toll. She said she'd never thought of doing that, but it was a great idea. She goes to the University of Kentucky and decided to pay for the person behind her every day on her way to school as she exits the toll road. I laughed at her sincerity. "You think I'm kidding," she said, "but like you said, it's only 50 cents. As we hung up, I wondered if the man who paid my toll even fathomed that his thoughtfulness would travel to Kentucky. I had an opportunity to extend kindness at the supermarket one day when I had my cart filled to the top with food that my roommate and I would share over the next 2 weeks. The woman behind me had a antsy toddler and not nearly as much in her cart as I had. I said to her, "Why don't you go first? You don't have as much as I do." The woman looked at me as if I just sprouted extra limbs or something. She replied, "Thank you so much. I haven't seen many people around here be thoughtful of another person. We've moved here from Virginia and are considering moving back because we're questioning whether this is the right place to raise our 3 children." Then she told me that she was about ready to give up and move back home, even though it would create a huge financial strain on her family. She said, "I'd promised myself if I didn't see a sign by the end of today, I was going to demand that we move back to Virginia. You are my sign." She thanked me again, smiling as she left the store. I was flabbergasted, realizing that such a small gesture had impacted a whole family. The clerk said as she was checking me out, "You know what, girl? You just made my day." I walked out smiling and wondering how many people my act of kindness would affect. The other day, I was getting a breakfast sandwich and coffee and thought my coworkers might like some donuts. The 4 guys I work with at the stables live in the little apartments at the front of the barns. None of them has a car, but they share a bike. I explained to them that the donuts were for them. The look of gratitude on each of their faces was rewarding in an immeasurable way. I haven't worked there all that long, and I think that those 12 donuts helped break the ice a little bit. My small act of kindness turned into something huge as the week went on. We started looking out for one another more carefully and working as a team. Okay, so here's number 3, which is be love. Ponder these words thoughtfully. God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in me, and I in him. That is God talking, so to speak. Keeping in mind the central theme of this chapter, and in fact, this entire book, that you must learn to be like the energy that allowed you to be in the first place. Then being in a state of love is absolutely necessary for you to reconnect to intention. You were intended out of love. You must be love in order to intend. Volumes have been written about love, and still we have as many definitions for this word as we have people to offer them. For the purposes of this chapter, I'd like you to think about love in the following 2 ways. Love is cooperation rather than competition. Say that again. Love is cooperation rather than competition. What I'd like you to be able to experience right here in physical form on planet Earth is the essence of the spiritual plane. If this were possible, it would mean that your very life is a manifestation of love. Were this to be true for you, you'd see all of life living together in harmony and cooperating with each other. You'd sense that the power of intention that originates all life cooperates with all other life forms to ensure growth and survival. You'd note that we all share the same life force, and the same invisible intelligence that beats my heart and your heart beats the heart of everyone on the planet. Love is the force behind the will of God. I'm not suggesting the kind of love that we define as affection or sentiment, nor is this the kind of love a feeling that seeks to that seeks to please and press favors on others. Imagine a kind of love that is the power of intention, the very energy that is the cause behind all of creation. It's the spiritual vibration that carries divine intentions from formless to concrete expression. It creates new form, changes matter, vivifies all things, and holds the cosmos together beyond time and space. It's in every one of us. It is what God is. I recommend that you pour your love into your immediate environment and hold to this practice on an hourly basis if possible. Remove all unloving thoughts from your mind and practice kindness in all of your thoughts, words, and actions. Cultivate this love in your immediate circle of acquaintances and family, and ultimately it will expand to your community and globally as well. Extend this love deliberately to those you feel have harmed you in any way or caused you to experience suffering. The more you extend this love, the closer you come to being love, and it's in this beingness of love that intention is reached and manifestation flourishes. Number 4, be beauty. Emily Dickinson wrote, "Beauty is not caused, it is. As you awaken to your divine nature, as you awaken to your divine nature, you begin to appreciate beauty in everything you see, touch, and experience. Beauty and truth are synonymous, as you read earlier in John Keats' famous observation in Ode on a Grecian Urn. Beauty is truth, truth is beauty. This means, of course, that the creative spirit brings things into the world of boundaries to thrive and flourish and expand, and it wouldn't do so were it not infatuated with the beauty of every manifested creature, including you. Thus, to come back into conscious contact with your source, so as to regain the power of your source, is to look for and experience beauty in all of your undertakings. Life, truth, beauty. These are all symbols for the same thing, an aspect of the God force. When you lose this awareness, you lose the possibility of connecting to intention. You were brought into this world from that which perceived you as an expression of beauty. It couldn't have done so if it thought you to be otherwise. For if it has the power to create, it also possesses the power not to do so. The choice to do so is predicted on the supposition that you're an expression of loving beauty. This is true for everything and everyone that emanates from the power of intention. Here's a favorite story of mine that illustrates appreciating beauty where you once didn't. It was told by Swami Shivalasanda better known as Guru Maya, in her beautiful book, Kindle My Heart. There was a man who did not like his in-laws because he felt they took up more space in the house than they should. He went to a teacher who lived nearby, as he had heard a lot about him, and he said, "Please do something. I cannot bear my in-laws anymore. I love my wife, but my in-laws, never. They take up so much space in the house. Somehow I feel they are always in my way." The teacher asked him, "Do you have some chickens?" "Yes, I do," he said. "Then put all your chickens inside the house." He did what the teacher said and then went back to him. The teacher asked, "Problem solved?" He said, "No, it's worse." "Do you have any sheep?" "Yes." "Bring all the sheep inside." He did so and returned to the teacher. "Problem solved?" "No, it's getting worse." "Do you have a dog?" "Yes, I have several." "Take all those dogs into the house." Finally, the man ran back to the teacher and said, "I came to you for help, but you are making my life worse than ever." The teacher said to him, "Now send all the chickens, sheep, and dogs back outside." The man went home and emptied the house of all the animals. There was so much space. He went back to the teacher. Thank you," he said. "You have solved all of my problems." Number 5, be ever expansive. The next time you see a garden full of flowers, observe the flowers that are alive and compare them to the flowers that you believe are dead. What's the difference? The dried up, dead flowers are no longer growing, while the alive flowers are indeed still growing. The all-emerging universal force that intended you into beingness and commences all life is always growing and perpetually expanding. As with all 7 of these faces of intention, by reason of its universality, it must have a common nature with yours. By being in an ever-expanding state and growing intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually, you're identifying with the universal mind. By staying in a state of readiness in which you're not attached to what you used to think or be, and by thinking from the end and staying open to receiving divine guidance, you abide by the law of growth and are receptive to the power of intention. This is a long chapter. So I'm going to close out right there, and I will finish tomorrow's part probably in the morning, because it's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll see if I can get it done tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more of the power of intention. And the story that I read in the beginning, where her daughter was talking about random acts of kindness, I had a random act of kindness happen to me by a couple of my, the ladies, 2 of the older ladies that they're in their 60s that go to my spin class that I teach at LA Fitness. They come to the Tuesday one, the Thursday one, and the Friday one. And they've noticed how I've been feeling, and they've been asking me how I've been feeling. And so I went in on Tuesday, and I saw them, and they came, talked to me, and was like, "How are you doing?" And I let them know I was feeling better. And they was like, "Okay, well, we got something for you." So they handed me this envelope, and they wanted me to open it. So I opened it, and it was this really nice card, and it said, "No, things are tough, but things will get better." And they told me, like, they wrote, "Stay strong," and some other things, and they signed it. It was Casey and Miss Jane. So Miss Casey and Mrs. Jane. And in there was a little envelope, and in the envelope was a $80 gift card for a massage and the tip at the Salt Lounge here in Redding. And I didn't cry because I was so focused on getting back into the classroom, because they did this before class. Getting into the classroom and getting my things put up on the walls, my notes for people not to come in while we're doing class and get paper towels and stuff. But they gave it to me, and I haven't made an appointment to use it yet, but I'm excited about it because I think it's an hour-long massage. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. So, okay, but I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more of part 3. We'll finish that out tomorrow. And you guys have a great night.